do you do this?
It makes the room happy. You know what I mean? It's a happy room, except for Mike. Is Mike even here anymore? Mike's up there, he gets pissed, and I kind of like that part too. We don't have a real question? Heyman, it's got juice. The guy's got juice. Give him.
I got a question. Your team handled the Dodgers 6-0 in the regular season. I don't suppose your team is the type to get overconfident, though, but I'll ask you.
Yeah, I mean, we're not overconfident, that's for sure. Dodgers are a powerhouse. What can you say? You know, you don't see many commercials in the United States, Canada, Japan, anywhere across the world, and you don't have Dodgers in it because they have the star power, and they're great players. I happen to think that Mookie Betts is one of the most underrated stars. I say underrated, that's kind of crazy, right? But I don't think Mookie Betts gets the credit. Freddie Freeman's like my favorite player in the game. He's ruined Brewers' history many times, but I still love him. I think he's a terrific player and even more terrific person. Ohtani, you know, one of the all-time greats in only, I don't know how many years he's played, but he's one of the all-time greats. But I think Mookie Betts is, what he's doing, transitioning back to the infield and playing shortstop on, you know, America's team. Like, are you kidding me? And doing it so well. I mean, his performance this year is far the most underrated. If you're watching baseball and value to a team, that dude is some kind of special. He's like, it would be like Steph Curry, like playing forward. You know what I mean? Like, he could do it because those superstars can do that. Mookie is doing something in our game that's unprecedented. I love it. Yeah, I respect the whole team. Teoscar, one of the great dudes of the game, and he's just performing in the clutch. I mean, they got great ones. The Rojas kid has killed us. If he hits against us, he gets a hit. And he's been unbelievable. So I respect the heck out of him. I really do.
Come over to Russell, second row on the left.
What's up, Murph?
Hey.
You're a be where your feet are kind of guy. I know you always say you can't coast uphill. With that type of philosophy about baseball and life, how do you appreciate what you guys were able to accomplish last night while also, you know, understanding what lies ahead?
Yeah, I admire this team. You know, I admire the guys in the clubhouse, what they've overcome, what they're about, the who. You know, I say that a lot. I hope I'm understood, but I understand myself, but I'm not sure anybody else does. But the who that they are impresses the hell out of me. Just like how they go about their business, how they show up to perform every day, what they talk about, how they care about each other. You know, they're not baseball players that are comfortable. They're still hungry. And hungry players, they make the manager look good, that's for sure. And, you know, it's like, I'm just proud as hell of those guys. And I don't underestimate them. You can't look on paper and say how many of our position players would be on the Dodgers team. You can't really project that many of them would. But somehow they find a way. And that's why I really admire our team.
Todd?
Murphy just came out of the meeting. Is there anything you can share as far as
Sure.
you know, roster breakdown, anything like that?
Yeah, I'll just reveal it all just before we even have to give it to the Dodgers. I'll just send it to you.
As far as numbers goes, anything like that, as well as 14 last time.
Why would I reveal that right now, Todd?
You revealed it first time.
I did? Huh. Oh, that was stupid on my part. I'm going to be more strategic.
Okay.
Adam, second row on the right.
Good. I got you warmed up. Murph, how about your starting pitching plans for 1 and 2, and more generally, the challenge of navigating a 7-game series with 2 off days versus a 5-game series with
3 off days.
3?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge on the pitching front, and so it makes you a little more mindful of length, guys that can give you length. But of the guys that we're going to keep, most likely, we haven't decided, to be honest with you, Todd. There's we don't feel like we can make a final decision, and we can't shed a position player right now because the way our options and what they are, we don't feel like we can probably shed one. So if we're going to only keep 12 pitchers, then we got to have a bunch of guys with length. So that opens the door for some other people that might not have been on the roster the first week. So we got to look at that. That was part of your question. What was the other part?
You mean starter for one or for two?
Well, I think that our success using an opener is, I mean, Freddie's going to pitch game 2. It's probably pretty obvious, right? It's his rest. It's where you can do. It can bring him back then at the end if we need him. So I think you can look at that as a probable. Game 1 looks at, okay, who is on our team that can give us length? Quintana, Priester, something like that, right? Give us a bulk. And we may use an opener there in game 1. And then we'll look at game 3 when we get to it. Okay.
Go to Jared in the third row.
Hi, Jared.
Hi, sorry I missed introductions. I'm Jared with the Wall Street Journal. Hi.
God, that's awesome, Jared. Thank you.
You guys.
So you know who you're sitting next to, don't you?
On which side?
I just said, you know who you're sitting next to.
Actually, no, I don't.
You should
I'll introduce
learn,
myself
'cause
after
you're in
this
a pretty
question.
you're in a pretty strategic spot there to gain some knowledge.
Nobody else wanted to sit here, apparently, because I'm the only open seat. You guys had more, opposing defenses committed more errors against your team than any team in baseball. You scored more unearned runs than any team in baseball. To what extent do you believe that's good fortune? And to what extent is that a result of something you are doing that sort of causes other teams to make
Yeah.
mistakes against you?
I think there's the threat of the bunt, the threat of the steal, the positioning thing, because we do so much of that stuff. I think that probably creates people being a little uncomfortable, a little more out of his position. I don't know. I think a lot of it's good fortune. I think a lot of it is guys that are like really short on our offensive team that kind of mishit the ball a lot, and it kind of puts everybody by surprise. The outfielders don't know where to play. They're like, this kid's 5'4". Where should I play him? You know, so I think there's a little bit of everything in there.
Go back to Kurt on the left.
More of a real question this time. The Dodgers have more righty starters than you saw in that last series and guys that are going to go probably longer in the games. Does that make you consider more strongly doing a situation with Bowers and Vaughn in the lineup together, or is that just sacrificing too much defense in your mind?
Yep. No, that's the discussion. You could be in our discussions if you'd like to join us. Yeah, those are the things that I'm contemplating, you know, like, do you put Bowers in the outfield? You know, who do you sacrifice, you know, and what does that do to the rest of your outfield defense? That type of stuff. So some version of that, Collins, you know, he's been a huge part of our team, like, so some version of that is there.
Let's go to Anthony.
You just gave me an idea there. No, I got to tell somebody something, and you saying that reminded me because I'm a little bit overwhelmed with all the. What do we got? Who's next?
Anthony, second row on the right.
Anthony.
What,
Helping out Adam.
helping out Adam. What Misiorowski did for you guys in the DS, how does that, you know, especially coming off his end to the season, how does that color or change your perception of what you could be or how you could use him going forward here?
No question. I mean, that's a great question. And you're sitting next to Adam and you made the great question. That's unusual. It's truly, Miz stepping up the way he has is just, we have more and more confidence in him, you know, and he's back in a groove a little bit. And I think that helps our team. You know, we're gonna have to piece it together. That's how we do it. It's patchwork, you know, and it's proven to be pretty good. You know, Yelly calls it the collection of misfit toys. You know, everybody's been DFA'd or moved around or been through really tough stretches, whatever, and it's kind of all hands on deck, and they're ready to do whatever. It's kind of cool.
Stay in that
Fun
row.
to be around.
Murph, going back to 2015 with the Padres, obviously you and Doc were on that coaching staff. Kotsay became a manager. Will Venables a manager. What do you remember just about the baseball acumen on that team, and then what have you learned in the 10 seasons since?
Hey, I mean, my baseball experience in the big leagues in 10 years, I've been around I was around Buddy Black. He's unbelievable. I was around Brad Ausmus, Trevor Hoffman, Mark Loretta, Dave Roberts, Hoffy's brother. I knew that. Glenn. I mean, around so many good baseball people, you know what I mean? That whole Padre experience helped me grow immensely. And, you know, I'm a guy, I had done the minor leagues for 3, 4, 5 years there, and that helped me. But then the first time in the big leagues, all those guys around, and some of those guys were just getting started coaching. You know, Doc was just getting started coaching. Some other guy, I was around Darren Balsley, the pitching coach there. Just some really just great baseball people. And I'm just really thankful because they all, you know, had plenty of laughs on me, and yeah, we had a great time, and I learned a ton. I learned a ton.
I will try to do 3 more. Adam, Jesse, Jack.
Murph, back to Mizorowski for a second. Will he start in this series, do you think, or do you like middle of the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. That hasn't been concrete yet, but there's a possibility he'd start.
And can I ask one more? Is Logan Henderson has been in Arizona, we understand? Do you
He's
expect-
actually here,
He is. That was going to be
and
my
you knew that. I think you knew that.
Thank you. Do you expect him to be part of this?
Could be. Could be. It's tough. Tough. I had guys haven't thrown a pitch in a game since against real game in a while, so it'd be tough to put him on. But I think he's here. It's a rumor. He's here. Now, before we close this up, and I don't want to take up any of the Dodgers' precious time. I mean, they're on a shoestring budget. They can't go anything extra. How about any of the Japanese reporters? Ask me a question. It'd be a thrill for me. No, we got a couple. Ladies first. Sorry.
Hi. Your team is really young. What's the key to navigate the young player in the biggest moment like this?
Yeah. I think each other. I think the fact that they have each other, you know, and they rely and they feel responsible for each other. And I don't want to let him down, my teammate. I want to do the job for him instead of, it's all about me. I got to do the job. I got to look good. No, I got to be responsible to him. So I think it's a teammate thing when you got young players.
One more question. You may possibly face the Shohei as a pitcher. What's the impression, like what's the idea about him as a pitcher?
Yeah. My impression as a pitcher is that he's unbelievable. You know, the game I saw him pitch the other day was like, the split finger from the top of the zone all the way to the bottom. Like, amazing. The guy's amazing. What can you say? The guy is amazing. I've never seen a baseball player with that much ability. So, yeah, we'll have our work cut out for us. That other kid's pretty good, the lefty. He's pretty good. What's his name? Snell? He's pretty good. I'm joking, of course. I've been very disappointed when he's pitched and I'm in the same stadium. Yeah, he's really good. And Glasnow is really good. And Yamamoto is really good. And the guy at the end, who's the guy at the end throwing 100 with a split? Yeah, that shouldn't be fair. We're gonna try to petition the league and see if we can get him suspended for something. Isn't there something we can get him on to get him out?